My fork was halfway to my mouth when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. Get up and leave now. Don't say anything to your parents. I didn't hesitate, didn't ask who, didn't ask why. Just stood up, pushed in my chair, and said, I need some air. My father looked up. My mother asked if I was okay. I lied. Just a headache. My feet moved faster than my mind. I stepped out the front door, closed it behind me. And then, 3 seconds later, the knock came. Firm, repetitive. Police. It started 6 months earlier, when I met him. Dressed sharp, spoke soft, looked at me like I was made of light. He met my parents by the third date, helped my father fix the gate, told my mother her cooking reminded him of his late mom. They adored him, and so did I. We moved in together after 5 months. Fast, I know, but he made me feel safe. That was the first lie. It wasn't until after I found the burner phone that things unraveled. He was in the shower, his real phone on the counter, but a second one buzzed under the bed. Cheap, unregistered, hidden. I didn't snoop, didn't open messages, didn't need to. The fact that it existed was enough. That night he told me it was for work, said he had to use 2 lines for security reasons. I didn't argue, just watched him. The way his eyes blinked too slowly, the way he avoided mine. He kissed my forehead like he was sealing a contract, then went to bed. I stayed awake and started planning. I pulled every thread I could find. Started with his LinkedIn, faked. His company website, suspiciously vague. The office he claimed to work at, vacant. He wasn't who he said he was. So I hired someone, an investigator, quiet, efficient. He dug fast, came back with answers that burned. His real name, his sealed record, and a history that involved financial crimes, manipulation, and coercion. He'd done this before, to other women. But I was the first to find out while it was still unfolding, the first to play back. I didn't confront him, didn't rage or cry. I played dumb, smiled when he held me, laughed when he lied. And in the background, I moved. I withdrew money from our shared account, closed credit cards he'd applied for in my name, backed up every file, message, and document I could find. I set a trap so slow he didn't notice it tightening, and then I left. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a folded note and an apartment stripped of everything I'd bought. But he didn't stop. He followed, texted, showed up at my office, told my parents we were working things out. I blocked him, moved again, warned my parents to keep distance. They didn't listen. They still liked him, thought he was misunderstood. I begged them to be careful. But that's the thing about charm. It's a mask that fools those who want to believe. Which brings us back to the dinner. When I saw the text, I knew. Someone was looking out for me. It wasn't a guess, it was a warning. Precise, timed, measured. I stepped outside. The knock followed. I stood at the edge of the driveway as officers walked in, guns holstered, voices calm but firm. They had a warrant for him, for fraud, for identity theft, for using my name to launder money through shell companies. My name, my address, my parents' house listed as a safe hold. The investigator had tipped off someone higher up. He'd been watching for weeks, waiting, building a case. And the moment they tracked the last transaction, the text came. Leave now. From the street, I watched through the blinds. My parents, confused, scared. My mother crying. My father shouting. The officers opened a suitcase he'd left behind. Cash, passports, multiple names, and copies of my driver's license, my signature. He was going to run, with my life in his pocket. They never found him. He slipped through just before the raid. But they had enough evidence. Warrants were issued, assets frozen, accounts dismantled. His empire, once quiet and neat, gone, and I helped burn it down. I never told my parents how deep it went. Didn't tell them I found the burner phone, Or that I staged my own exit weeks in advance. Didn't tell them I knew, or how close he came to using me as a pawn. They see me as lucky, as the girl who barely escaped. But they're wrong. I wasn't lucky. I was meticulous, patient, focused. He thought I was naive. Another face to borrow, another life to steal. But I watched. I listened. And when the time came, I left without looking back. If he ever reads this, here's what I hope he remembers. You taught me how to disappear, but you forgot? I watched you first. And that text? That wasn't a warning. It was the start of your ending.